Hey, there we go. Welcome to the 6th hobby stream here on Neuro-Heretical Wargaming. I'm Brendan, and today we will be painting some beautiful Destroying Scions, because you all, apparently, like to see me in continual pain. So, yeah, thanks for that. But hey, why not? Alright, let's go ahead and get these bad boys out on the table. If you watched last week, you will recognize all these guys. This week, we're mainly going to focus on getting their helmets done. I kind of did all the struggling I really want to do with their trim, so don't expect necessarily a lot of that today, but that's a-okay. Also not sure I'm going to do much of their weapons today, just because I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to paint their weapons. And real quick, while we get kind of the final setup here, I'm going to post this to the Discord. If you're in here and haven't seen the Discord, you should probably join. I think you'd like it. And also, of course, as always, tell me what you think of the music. If you like the music, if you don't, we can try and figure something out. Down in the Discord, because I'm a very let's see, I know there was one of these guys, besides him, that did not get their thing open. Real quick, I need to do my where's the center of the camera tape. Like I said, I am very organized person, I can tell you that right now. Alright. Yeah, look at that, we already got a viewer. Welcome in. I did all my prep before the stream, I swear. Alright, is that roughly in the center? Yeah. So that way, remember, we're to show it when we're painting. Oh no, I didn't change question of the week. Can you do that? Alright, that should be updated now. Alright, let's get to it. I love clearing space on my hobby table. It's my favorite part. It's a little messier from grabbing everything for last Sunday's stream, so everything's kind of everywhere, which is less than ideal, but you know, hey, this is how it goes. I think if you're organized, you're probably not in this hobby. This hobby, I'm not saying it's strictly for the disorganized amongst us, but like, we seem to be attracted to it like flies. Alright, so going through with these two, so you and you, these two we did last week. They have a dry brush already on their hat, so we're going to set them aside and come back to that in a minute. Alright. And maybe off to the side here a little bit. Kind of doing some stuff on the side, but you know, hey, still don't want to miss a stream. Here, let's do that. Ah, that'll be a bit different, but it'll be okay. All right. Okay, so we need the dry brush. Where's my dry brush? Oh, where's my dry brush? There it is. That. I do apologize, I need to step off real quick to grab a piece of stuff. All right, now I got this, I can dry brush properly, so I'm gonna move this to the side, put this right here. All right, what color? I believe we did Mornfang Brown. There it is. It's gonna be a real simple dry brushing technique, nothing crazy. Alright, get some dry brush paint out, do a little dip in, get that on the brush, then come in here, get it kind of light where we want it, and then we're just going to gently brush over these guys. This one's going to be a pretty generous dry brush, just to, because we want pretty full coverage. Ooh, panned him, something kind of cracked. I don't know if that picked up on the mic, but I don't know what that was about. One of my handy dandy paint holders. Oop. Move them aside for a second. Little dip dip. On, brush off, and let's go. There we go, that's better. Anyway, today's discussion topic for the day is Night Lords versus Black Templars, because I play both, and I know a few people in our community here play both. So I figured it would be a great way to start an argument. Speaking of which, I do have some news for our community. We are now officially affiliated with Wargames Atlantic. So if you are looking for a way to support the channel, please be sure to follow the affiliate links in the description below. And any purchase you make, it won't cost you a dime more, but it helps us see some returns. That way we can help start really putting money back into this channel and really trying to help the channel grow. I can get a better setup, all kinds of stuff like that. I do apologize. I will try to stay over this orange thing. I am keeping an eye on chat, so if I start drifting, please let me know. That way I can adjust properly. A little bit more. I thought one of these guys somehow got missed. Maybe I'm wrong. Keep up the dry brushing. I know this is the exciting content that you come to our channel for. I know that without this channel really wouldn't exist if you think about it. I don't know. Sorry if I shook you guys. Didn't mean to leave you shooketh. I hope you're ready for bad dad puns, because you're going to get a lot of those from me. And I am dad. I just am an appreciator of bad puns. Okay, listen here, Matt. I'll tell you what. Next time I play my Night Lords, I will play Dread Talons just for you. Okay? I'll do it just for you. That is the best I can do. Is the music still going? Okay. I don't know if it was or if it just stopped, but yeah, I'll tell you what. I will play Dread Talons. How about that? Mostly because I have not played Dread Talons in a while. Like, I tried it a bit more. No, it's hard to tell. Yeah, I think it's fine. HT lesson, not entirely sure what you mean. I do not follow like CSM meta like at all, so I really don't know much about the actual list people are running. Oh no, I didn't do his face. Maybe that's not what I remember from last time. Also, Matt, I am fairly certain, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm willing to bet you are the one that voted for the Warp Talons, aren't you? Oh, I tried the list. Okay. You talking about the list that you ran recently? Or you're just talking about like Dread Talons in general? Because I will admit I had trouble making Dread Talons work. So like one time I tried it. In fact, I did take my Night Lords to a team tournament one time, or I was planning to, but due to basically effectively model limitations, we ended up not running my Night Lords. I actually switched back to my Templars. Okay. Yeah. Another one you're talking about. Need to read it over again. Sorry, I didn't give it too close a read last week. It was a... Oh, God! Yep, that'll, Yep. Well, that makes dry brushing a little easier, I guess. Now, see, I was debating when I originally made these if I wanted if I wanted to put a little ball of green stuff down the socket there, because these don't fully like rest into it properly. Because hey, these heads are from Wargames Atlantic, one of our new affiliates. If you're looking at buying them, please click the affiliate link below. It does not cost you any extra. Anyway, they don't fit flush into this. They kind of rest on top of it a little bit. And yeah, not the strongest connection apparently, as we have now seen. Do this real quick. Well, we are like 15 minutes into the stream and we have a man down. It's a great day, guys. Absolute great day, let me tell you. Well, Matt, since you're kind of one of our painting gurus, as it seems to be, or if I remember correctly, you wanted to do your own little channel where you're going to start doing paint tutorials. If you know a good way to paint like wood onto flat surfaces, please let me know. Because I don't know if it's a little known fact or not, but where is just like a regular las gun? Yeah, there we go. Vestroians, they actually have wood furniture on all their weapons, and I don't know how to paint that. Thank you for the congrats. Hopefully this is just the first of many, but we will see. Yeah, I kind of figured it wouldn't be easy. Like, there's no going to be easy way to do this. I think it's just going to be a pain in the butt, regardless of what I do. Like, I think that's probably just a given. Yeah. So it's going to be. I know. Let me put this over there real quick. So like, just real quick. Essentially, the wood parts would be right through here, and probably here. Like everything else, like everything that's not basically what would essentially be the stock and the actual body of the firearm, is going to be yeah. And so it'll be mostly kind of the housing, I guess, would be the correct term. It's like right through here. But I will admit that is partially a future me problem. And I'm not 100% sure if I will be able to completely use it on the Scion, just because excuse me. Just because, like you said, they don't have the same kind of setup as a lot of the as the old Vestroian models do for their weapons, so. Awesome. Welcome everybody that has joined today's stream so far. Besides Max, I know I'm talking to Matt a lot, but if you have any questions for me, please feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them while I'm doing this. These streams normally go on for a nice little while. If you want to see how I did the leader, their hat is white, so they're easy to pick out. Alright, so that was actually pretty easy. We got most of their hats done. I want to wait a little bit on him. Dry a bark base with a light and thin brush and steel Asian drab. That might be the move. I mean, they're newer tech, you're right. But the way the Vestroians work is all of their weapons are like handed down within the family. So they're like very ornate and like very finely crafted by the time they ever get to them. Alright. So now we are going to, speaking of, Matt, we're going to try your little suggestion last week. I can't remember. Did you suggest for the next dry brush to get a slightly lighter layer? Just make their heads just pop that a little bit more. Did you suggest Steel Legion Drab or Xandri Dust? Of course I also want to know what you're painting today, Matt. Why would that ever be a question? This is a hobby hangout, right? You are always welcome to share with me what you guys are painting. In fact, what I ought to do is have on Discord so I can pull up what you guys are actively working on while I'm doing this. All right. I'm gonna give you a second to answer that because I'm actually genuinely curious what your thoughts are. I'm kind of leaning towards a bit Steel Legion, but maybe Xandri Dust? I feel like Xandri Dust is too light, to be honest. Okay, I can't remember if it was you or someone else. Sorry. It's usually a few different people in chat. Here. Since this is kind of more chill sort of deal. Let me go ahead and. I don't want to do that right now. I mean, I can. I'll leave that for now. If you guys add stuff onto it, let me know, and we can hop up and look at it from time to time. Alright. Oh, you're painting a battlefield Gothic fleet. Interesting. Very interesting. Ooh. I might need more Steel Legion Drab. That's I haven't looked in this bottle in a while, but yeah, that's. No, can I get that out? Yeah. Literally pulled that out by my thumb and I didn't get any paint on my thumb, which is probably not a good sign. I don't usually have these dry out like this, so it's actually kind of interesting for me. Like, I know GW pots are kind of infamous for this, but this, like, I swear this genuinely does not happen for me very often with these. Hey, United Wargamer, how's it going? If anyone wants to thank the man, the myth, the legend that keeps our actual battle reports running, this is the guy. Oh god, yeah, this stuff's like dried out. Let me dip in here and see if it can come out. No, it's dry. Okay, well, that messes up some plans, so that's all that meant. Here, let's see if we can get that up and running a little bit. Because that... Oh, excuse me, I got sneezed. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Whew. Let me see if I can add that. Just as like an option. No, you don't understand, Matt. It is like dry. Like it is dry in there. I like stuck it in and none of it even came up on the tip of the brush. Like it's done. That actually does genuinely mess with my plans today. That's a bit unfortunate, but that's okay. That's okay. I need to do their boots, which I was gonna do in Reinhawk's hide. So that'll be okay. So that's just how things go. We had a dude straight up like pop off. Like we had a dude's head pop off, and we had dry paint. Do I have another bottle? Hold on, give me a second. Maybe I have another bottle. I don't think I actually do, but let me check. I'm also pretty sure I have I thought I had Dry Bark somewhere, so I might throw that on. If I do. Dry Bark a contrast or like a regular paint? I remember at some point looking at it. Agrax, Skeleton Horde. Scrag brown. We think, is that too light? I think that's too, maybe that's just right. Thoughts on Scrag brown? Okay, I thought it was a base. I swear I had dry oak at one point, but I'm not seeing it. But we could try Scrag brown. That's an option. So there's that too light. I feel like that might be too light though, looking at it. Well, ooey. This is what happens when we do stuff live, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes we make mistakes. And then we're just kind of stuck with them. Alright. It's 5 minutes, this stream is already a mess. It's already falling apart, boys. Yeah, I guess I think it's too bright. I think it's too bright. Alright, well, I think what we'll do is we'll do some Rhinox hide for their boots, and probably pick out some other leather bits here and there. Since I primed in black, usually what I use for leather is snakebite leather, but because I primed in black, that presents an issue, and I really don't want to put on a whole nother layer of paint, a couple other paints. I don't know, I don't feel like playing Doctor on my face. Can I copy this? I can. Make that Discord real quick. What? You mean it's in use? Discord view. Hold on that, and if when we decide to go check those out, we can do that. I do want to try and get some actual painting done real quick. Even this feels thick. Are all my paints just assigned to dry out now? That would be mildly hilarious, to be honest. If considering how much rain we've been getting where we're at. Like, it has been raining so much. Literally today, I didn't even know it was gonna rain. And like, I was at the house and my wife was coming by during her lunch break. And I was waiting, and literally as soon as she left for work, it starts hailing. Like, not big hail, little hail, but it starts hailing. And like, just starts pouring out of nowhere. Like, it had been, not even a cool day, but it had been a perfectly like, it was a perfectly normal day. Like, it wasn't like hella cloudy or anything like that. It just started coming down. And I felt so bad for her because it was like, it was timed. I swear, like, it was timed to, like, every time she did something, it would just start raining. Like, as soon as she like left, it started to rain. As soon as she got there, like, as soon as she got inside, it stopped raining. As soon as she left to go back to work, it rained again. And like, it didn't even rain up by her work. It was crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Alright, simple brown boots. Right. Like, it was like the rain genuinely had a vendetta against my wife today. And I don't know why. Genuinely crazy. Genuinely crazy. Exciting boot painting action. I'll probably dim my screen so it doesn't distract me as much. So again, welcome for everybody that's showing up. We are more than glad to have you. Today we are painting some Tempesta Scions, as voted by you, the viewers, because someone likes to see me suffer, and no one will take responsibility for it in the chat, which is something else, let me tell you. Which I don't care if you like to watch me suffer, that's fine. I just want to know the face of the man who makes me suffer. That's all. That is all I want. Shoot. I should have been setting these guys like over here. There we go. So you can go over there. Do your boots? No. Cool. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with that song. I'll be honest. I have infamously bad taste in music. I have been told by multiple people they do not like my taste in music. I am apparently rather unique. Which, the more I talk to people, I think I'm not actually that unique in my music. I just think I'm not a huge fan of pop music. It's not that I don't like it, I just don't listen to it. So it's not like part of what it's not in my mind, if that makes sense. I know it was you, Matt. I know you wanted me to paint the rapper towns, because you're the only one like locking that one down. I know you're clear, so I know where you're at. Which, frankly speaking, we might end up getting to those guys tonight. We'll see. Not being able to dry brush the fur hats is actually kind of putting a damper on my plans for this evening. So we might call an audible and switch over to those guys. But I just want to know who keeps wanting to watch me suffer. I know there's at least 2 of you. It was even deliberately in the chat. Alright. Boots. Something just drove past my window. Or, I say drove. I'm not next to the road, but like something just like went down the path. My window was going to dunk, to dunk, to dunk, to dunk, to dunk. Use a skateboard? It's the summer, there's a lot of kids out. I mean, a kid on a skateboard just rolling down. That would sound about right. Also, my voice is too quiet. Please let me know. I have everything at my fingertips if I need to change anything. Just gotta let me know. Switching over for the paint from last week, which even though my wet palette is very good, is not wet anymore. The paint is. The wet palette's still good, but the paint is no longer wet and is therefore not particularly useful to me. Perfect. Thank you, Matt. Useful as always. I need to get a picture reference for how high these boots go. I feel like this part is probably supposed to be white. But I'm kind of hitting it a little bit with still a little black from the primer. And I'm hitting it with the orange paint a little bit. Hello, Headless Jim, who I will probably fix after the stream. You know, Matt raises a good point. If you don't know, we do have a Discord. And that is actually where Matt is currently. Hanging out in the Hobby Hangout. Painting away while we do the same, while I do the same. Y'all know that Boots and Cat song that just like repeats over and over. I'm not even sure what the actual purpose of that song is. I think it's supposed to be like a rhythm thing. But that is stuck in my head every single time I paint boots. Just like every single time. The Boots and Cat song. And that's all I'm gonna sing, so I don't know if that's copyrighted or not. I don't think it is, but it might be. Because music is weird, and I don't putz with it. I don't play games with music. I kind of see your issue there, Matt. Looking at the thing real quick. Oh, your one was already painted. Quick second, just gonna hop over here. Zoom out a little bit. So you're not just like super in on my arm real quick while I do this. Alright. Oh, is the music playing? Music seems to have stopped. Give me a second. Oh, okay, is this between songs? I think it was just between songs. Figured it out. Actually, I was about to say, I don't know why, but I'm tired, but I feel like I kind of know why. Did a plasma donation for the first time, like, on Monday. I feel like my body's, like, half playing catch up still. But I hope it's not, because I have another appointment for tomorrow. Don't particularly want to miss it. Another exciting week on the hobby stream. But that's okay. It doesn't always need to be something big and exciting, to be honest. The big thing for me is it really helps me get stuff done, you know? It's like, so fun story, Matt. My wife was also in the UK for Mad Cow. So I think now actually, I'm assuming what prompt that was my talking about donating plasma. It said they're no longer deferred for being in the UK between like I forget exactly when. For being like in the UK during that area. I think you might actually be able to get blood and like plasma now. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it said. At least the place I went to, but that down here, that would be a federal thing, not a like an organization couldn't do that. They would be subject to federal law. Oh man, let me tell you. By the time I got out of the army, I was like, man, I am pretty comfortable with needles, right? Like, I don't love them, but I can like tolerate them, right? Because I got jabbed. I mean, you're a Canadian army, so I'm sure it's the same. You get jabbed all the time. Yeah, exactly. So like, by the time I got out, I was like, okay, I'm pretty comfortable with needles for the most part, especially because I had to get a lot for pre-deployment stuff. And so I went down there and I was like, oh yeah, I've got my blood drawn and stuff. Like, it'll be a little weird because it's longer, but I should be okay. And then they pulled out the biggest freaking needle I have ever seen in my life. And I was like, oh, that is a lot bigger than I thought. And like, I was okay when they started doing everything. And then I think because I kind of had a little bit of an issue towards the end. And I think what got me is I looked at the needle one too many times because it was massive. That's part of why I have not really pursued an EMT career down here. It's because I have to get IB certified. And I was like, I'm not sure I can actually stick someone, to be honest with you. So. Now, it's an experience. Like I said, I'm definitely wanting to go back. It's just, it was an interesting experience. The pay's not that bad either, so I can't complain too much. I mean, that's true, but it's not like the way plasma works is they're not like draining you, right? They pull it out, and then that gets like processed real quick, and basically just goes back in for the most part. Like, you keep your red blood cells and stuff. So it's kind of like it's like a temporary thing, and like right afterwards they put I got a bag of saline, and I was like, or a bag of fluids, which I guess would be saline, but I got a bag of fluids, and I was like 100%. Just like towards the end, I was like, my eyes are really fuzzy. I feel a bit lightheaded. This is probably a problem. And they were like, you are probably correct. But it wasn't a bad experience or anything. It was just kind of like, ugh. And I think my body went to panic mode, so my thing just like dropped a little bit. Do a narrative, Battlefield Gothic, and 40k for boarding Planetfalls. You know what I really wish. Cause I know I'm positive people did that back in the day when Battlefield Gothic was actually a supported system. But what I really wish GW would do is to release a multi-system campaign setting. Not setting, multi-system campaign system, if that makes sense. So you would have like a grand kind of strategy element to it, and that kind of like how Crusade is done, but Crusade's a bit more informal. But it's be like, oh hey, this is how we do X, Y, or Z, or I mean, how to put it? So like, you decide like, oh, I want to hit this planet. So and so is control of this planet. They have these forces on this planet, so we're gonna do a game of this size, etc., etc. And that determines like who controls the planet. So there's like a multi-level thing to it. But unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna happen. Now, I'm sure some people are doing something similar with like Horus Heresy and Legions Imperialis, where you have kind of like the big battles, but then you can also play out the smaller ones that happen because of that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then like you could like connect it to the Crusade system for like 40k and whatever systems you're using. If they have a narrative system, connect it to it, and you have like this kind of bigger persistent thing. I don't know if there's any fan-made stuff like that. It'd be awesome if there was, but I have no idea if there actually is. So, I mean, like I said, I know a lot of people do. I know Crusade. People play Crusade. Like, we probably like. I feel like as a community we joke on it a bit. But people do actually play it. All 20 of them. But it's kind of like an informal sort of thing. So I think you kind of just play whoever's available. It's not like there's a whole. Like it's kind of it's the way it seemed to me. And of course, we're having this conversation the day Tristan's not here because he actually plays Crusade. But the way it seems to me is kind of informal. You play who's available, and like that action feeds into the development of your army over time, like how it just develops as for its own little lore. Like I said, I think there's a fair number of groups. I think at one point our local group here was doing one. Yeah, I think it kind of fits that out. Our group tends to be a bit more on like the competitive side. So like narrative stuff doesn't typically last too long because it makes it like people want to play a bit more competitively, so they want to bring out harder lists than are typical for stuff like Crusade. And then like I know we've had some issues in the past for some games with people trying to run it, and then like someone kind of starts power gaming a bit, and then it kind of crashes and burns as a result of that. But so I mean, you're basically what you're doing is you're doing D&D plus 40k, and one of the hardest things about 40k is getting not 40k. The hardest thing about D&D is getting organized and just getting people to show up and do it consistently. While the 40k is kind of the opposite, where I find it 40k for me, but one thing I really like about it is that it's relatively simple to organize a game, right? One, you only need 2 people minimum, so that makes it a lot easier just on a base level. But then it's also just like you just gotta show up with your army. You don't really have to sit down and think through, and like you're playing the game, but you're also kind of pulled back a bit more than I think you are in a typical D&D game. So you're not like as engaged. You don't have to be as engaged all the time, which is nice because you can like kind of talk to other people a little bit and doesn't necessarily affect the game too much. And just stuff like that makes 40k a little bit more enjoyable for me. Though I do enjoy both. I absolutely do enjoy both. I have no one arguing with myself playing that much. I'm getting hungry. That's not good because I don't have food here because we're house sitting, so I have actually no food in my house. Uh-oh. I knew I should have grabbed something on the way over, but I was like, oh no, I'll be fine. He was not fine. I'm right back. I want to give myself something to drink. I'm thirsty. In the meantime, have a good time. Alright, I have returned. Turns out, I have peanut butter in the cabinet. So I dig is something to eat. Basically doing the single dad special. Peanut butter on a fork or on a knife, but it works. But a little bit better, I got something in my system, ready to rock and roll. Hey man, if you can get a Battlefleet Gothic community started literally wherever, that would be pretty great. Not even gonna lie. I did not find crackers. It was literally crunchy peanut butter out of a jar. Like I said, this is straight up the single dad dinner special, right? Just like a butter knife, some butter knife and some peanut butter. What more you need? In fact, I can distinctly remember my dad when he was a single dad doing exactly that. I think he usually did smooth, but funny of things that you remember. Oh man, it might mildly interest you, but I have officially started the National Guard process for down here, which is basically kind of a reserve component for us. And I am moderately concerned I may have to go back to basic training again, and I really don't want to. I'll do it if that's what it takes, but I don't want to. I really don't want to spend my summer with a bunch of 18-year-old kids. Or whatever time of year it is. But do it if I have to. Just don't want to. I'm really glad I put this piece of tape down, especially with the bright orange, because it makes it very clear, like, oh, this is where the mini needs to be, so this is moderately entertaining to everyone at home. Top of the boot. Yes. Yes. Maybe this Rhinoxide. I don't know. Mine's hard. It's a brown. Headdress pin on the stream. No. I don't believe I can, so I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Unless that's an autocorrect failure, which is a distinct possibility. Excuse me. Yeah. Alright, so after we knock these boots out, I think I'm actually kind of at a stopping point for the Scions. Like I said, I don't have the thing to dry brush them. I don't have a scheme picked out for their guns yet. we might be getting close to a stopping point for them. I think what I'll do is I'll do the boots on everyone, and then I will do the first layer for the head on the standard bearer. And I'll kind of leave our scions kind of at a pausing point until I can get some other stuff figured out for them. My head is pinned on top. Pin that goes in the headdress, top right. I'm not sure what you mean. I genuinely don't. Are you talking about like this? No, that can't be right, right? I'm confused. I'm sorry, Matt. Oh no, I just grabbed him by the boot. Oh no! Sorry, Matt, I'm just a little confused on what you mean here. Probably just me, I'll be honest with you. Kinda dumb. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it. I can take a peek, see. Oh.
What's up?
I don't know what that did. Huh. It's interesting to see kind of a stream in stream.
Yeah.
I'm coming up with both now. Oh, I'm gonna mute myself. There we go.
I'm gonna leave it on so you get.
Sorry, man, I couldn't hear what you're saying because I have my volume all the way down for.
Yeah, this. I don't know if
this. Okay, yeah, because that's how. Okay, I definitely see what you mean now. Because that's how you guys mark your regiments, right? In the kind of Commonwealth system.
Discord.
You wear different badges on your berets, correct? And we kind of do that too. We wear our battalion badge, right? Yeah, our battalion badge on the beret if you're enlisted, and rank if you're an officer. For anyone that has absolutely no idea what we're talking about, our friend here, Sheldrake, also known as Matt, he is streaming on our Discord. He's just kind of hanging out in our hobby hangout. If you guys want to see what he's doing as well, absolutely feel free to join our Discord and hop on over there. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I try to know stuff about allies and how they do their stuff at least a little bit. And our systems are, especially with Commonwealth countries, our systems are like more similar than most. If that makes sense. Okay, can you reach the boot? Yes, I can. Okay, that would make sense. Yeah, with division on shoulder. That's also what we do. Yeah, our berets have our patch on, or have our regimental crest, which, since we don't actually have full regiments, it's the same as our battalion. So, yeah, it has our regimental crest. Then we wear your unit patch, and that kind of varies on where you're at. So, like where I was at, it was our full division, the 4th Infantry Division. While if I was assigned to something like the 173rd Airborne Brigade in Italy, I would wear the brigade patch instead. Just kind of varies depending on what it is. But let's see here. You need boots and hat. Funnily enough, down here, outside of like the Green Berets and then the the Green Berets, you have the Green Berets are obviously the most famous. Then you have the Maroon Berets that the Airborne wear, which I'm pretty sure actually, I don't know if you guys have Airborne anymore. I know you had a para unit that I'm not going to get into because I know it had issues that I think led to it getting disbanded. But I know we got, and our airborne units picked up the Marine Berets from the British airborne units in World War II. So there's a connection there. Then Rangers wear a tan beret, I think. I'm not 100% on that. I was interested in being a Ranger in high school. I was not interested in being a Ranger when I was in the Army. I don't remember for sure, but I think they have a tan beret. SFAB have a brown beret, and it looks terrible. And that kind of sums up everything I've seen about the SFAB brigades. Yeah, and I'm relatively familiar with that. I'm not gonna dig it down, but I remember reading about that. Ironically, we had a different Somali situation that also included a unit that included the Rangers. I think at the time they wore black berets. That's the thing. So then, like, the Army-wide wanted to adopt one. The Army-wide adopted the black beret, and it made the Rangers very upset because they traditionally had worn one, so they started wearing a tan beret instead. And then I think SFAB wanted to start wearing a tan beret, and Rangers were like, "Well, hold on, that's our beret now. You've taken from it twice." So then they went to, I think they made the SFAB switch back to a brown one. I'm sure you can, Matt, especially with where you're at in the Canadian Army. But just for the stream, I don't want to go into it. Is all. Oh no. That's a fair point. I didn't think of definite. There we go. Now I did. If anyone's at home is like, why am I hearing two voices? Actually, I'm not sure if you shouldn't come up actually, because the way the stream is set up, it only pulls the audio from the web page. I'm pretty sure. Or no, it's doing all audio output capture. Never mind. So yeah, I want to mute and deafen myself on Discord. Actually, I didn't get, like I said, I have my speakers muted so my mic doesn't pick up my stuff. So I don't want that to. So if I miss stuff like that, let me know, because I will miss stuff like that. Do this real quick. It's fair. I have a headset. The cord is just really short. So like my main concern, because I don't have a wireless one, right? I have an actual connected one. My main concern is that one, it's really short and has to put directly on the computer. So it's like I'm always kind of off to the side a little bit with it. And because I have a bunch of streaming stuff around me, I don't want to bump into it too much. And I think the headset would cause me to do that more often. Alright. Got that. Got his boots. You know, yeah, I want to work on the Raptors and Warp Towns a little bit, because I don't know, I'm not sure I'm fully feeling the Scions today. And like I said, Matt, you're the one that voted for the Raptors, so I also might be a bit of a shorter stream today because I'm just kind of getting a little tired. A little off today. But we will get some content out for the people. I can always promise you that much. Hopefully no one was like came in here and heard like weird voices and everything happening from the Discord and was like, what is this? And then just left. That would be one, that would be my fault. Two, Actually, that would be kind of funny. Not gonna lie. Oh, you just finished the Night Lords Omnibus? I'm assuming is what you mean? It is. If you okay, I guess if you haven't read or listened to it before, it is so good. It is genuinely my favorite. Come here. I pull these guys out, but I don't feel like dry brushing today. Actually, I'm gonna step on the side. But that is honestly one of my favorite. Whatchamacallit? 40K, just like novels in general. Like, it is genuinely fantastic. Well, hold on, it can't answer my question of the week if you're not also listening, or if you don't also read Hell's Reach, because you gotta get it perfectly balanced. Wait, actually, funnily enough, you mentioned the omnibus. I just today finished Prince of Crows for Horus Heresy, which was written by Aaron Nimsky-Bowden, who wrote the Night Lords trilogy and and Hell's Reach for that matter. That dude can write Space Marines. Like, if he's writing a Space Marine book, I am 100% involved. I don't think there's any of his that I've read that I didn't like, right? Like, I really liked, like, Spear of the Emperor was good, the Night Lords trilogy is good, Betrayer, which I think is probably my favorite 40K novel, just like bar none. He wrote the dude can write Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines especially, but Space Marines in general. The dude can write Space Marines, and I will read any Space Marine novel GW pays for him to put out, like, every time, absolutely. Like, without hesitation, I will 100% watch it, or read it, or listen to it, whatever it happens to be, or watch it. If they have him write a show, I will watch the show. Though I will admit, a lot of times novel writers are not good show writers, and vice versa. The two are very different mediums. Yeah, so real quick to explain to anyone that happens to hop in, or you as well, Matt, what I do for my Night Lords is I give them a dry brush with Golden Griffin, I think it is. Give them a dry brush, a very nice heavy coating dry brush of that. Then they get a coat of Agrax Earthshade. Hold on, there's a hair on this because I have dogs. There we go. Yeah, okay, okay, hold on. Let me finish describing how I did my job. So they get a very heavy coat of Agrax Earthshade. After the dry brush Golden Griffin, that gets in this kind of dark bronze. Then I fill in all the little bits with Cantor Blue. And then they get another wash of Nuln Oil over the dark spots. And that gives them this gives them the very brassy trim. And it makes it relatively easy to go in and not that paint all the trim individually, which is very nice. That is one of the things I hate the most. And then, okay, real quick, back to what you just said, Matt, about Game of Thrones being good. So Game of Thrones is actually a very interesting case, because George R.R. Martin was actually not originally a novel writer. He wrote for television. Big one I know, it's not big anymore, but he did like an ABC family show. He wrote for an ABC family show that was like, it's like Beauty and the Beast or something. I think that was like at least one of his first big breaks. But he actually wrote for TV before he started writing for novels. So when the show was made, he was like, yeah, I would be, like, he actively helped as a screenwriter. Not all the time, but fairly often. So he has a lot of actual screenwriting credits on the show. And that's because he used to screenwrite. Like, he knows what he's doing in that regard. And I think I would honestly argue that's part of why he hasn't finished any of his other books, simply because he started doing that and I think that's actually what he enjoys more, is show writing than novel writing. It's a very collaborative process. You hang out with people versus novel writing, which is very individual. So the fact that stuff for that his shows at least started better makes a lot of sense, because he actually has experience in that regard and can give actual feedback that most authors just simply can't. Like Brandon Sanderson can help, but he only knows so much. Like he only knows so much about actual screenwriting. Side note, because it's relevant, I minored in creative writing in college. So I actually have a minor in creative writing. So I have a lot of opinions about creative writing and can talk about them a fair bit. Talk about it a fair bit, I should say. Also learned recently, George R.R. Martin played a small role in the development of Jurassic Park, right? I guess I'd have to, I don't remember exactly what the video said, but it was like he wrote a story and Michael Crichton really liked the cover art they used like to cover the story in the magazine he published in. And so he has like a weird connection to Jurassic Park of all things. So I was watching a show or a video that was like a timeline of Jurassic Park, and it was like, oh yeah, quick note, George R.R. Martin helped in this regard. And I was like, that was not a name I was expecting to hear in regards to Jurassic Park. Just weird how the world works like that. That being said, I don't think we're ever gonna get The Wind's a Winner. It's just not, it doesn't exist. That book never truly exists. You know, Matt, that would make sense. I don't know if your system's the same way as ours, but if you did like a college thing to get your commission, that makes sense that you would have some kind of minor in that. I know when I was looking at doing a college program for officer, I think they were doing like, they do like some kind of logistics thing. At least the school I was looking at. I don't remember if that was like the degree you actually did or if that was just a minor you got as part of it. I think it was probably a minor, but that's kind of a guesstimate. I will say, creative writing, not the most useful minor, especially combined with a degree in English. But I do English good, so that helps sometimes. So I've been told. Alright, let's get these dudes knocked out, and then I think I might end up calling it a night. Like I said, I'm kind of, I don't know, not 100% mentally, I don't think, but it's okay. That's just how it goes sometimes, and sometimes you gotta paint to get stuff done, and other times you just gotta be like, alright, well, I accomplished what I sought to accomplish, so I'm ready to call it a night. You know what I mean? And regardless, I assure you all, anyone who might be watching this now or in the future, I will be back next week. As long as my schedule permits, I will be here, I promise. You will get your weekly fix of this for some reason. If this is what you need, fair enough. You know what? I'm not going to argue with you. Ah, there you go, see? Thinking stuff through to putting that degree to work. Oh, yeah, that's a fair idea. Make it easier to tell things apart. Not a bad idea. Never a bad idea, I would say. Speaking of which, as I continue to expand my Arbitrate's force, I really ought to start finding a way to differentiate them a little bit. I'm thinking of doing the stripe on top of their heads in different colors. I've got the current dudes are red. I'll probably start doing, I don't know colors yet, but different colors to be like, ah, it's a different squad. That's how they differentiate each other. Then again, the two squads I'm building are going to be subductors versus the current exaction squad. That might be what I do next week, actually. I might put stuff together because I've been painting a lot on stream, and changing some stuff up probably wouldn't hurt too much. Keep things fresh for me and you guys. Because that's really that's the hardest part of hobbying, to be honest with you, is just like, I feel like you learn, that's a very good idea, it's doing different types of crafts. I don't know. I don't care too much for my Kriegers. What am I trying to say? I'm not too worried about differentiating the Kriegers too much. Right, because mostly it's just like, alright, I got these squads with these dudes in it, so I'm just going to grab these dudes and go from there. I don't know, I feel like the Arbitrate should be a little more individualized, I guess. This guy hasn't gotten washed yet. My Raptor leader. I'm going to set him aside for now. I did not. So I didn't get. I basically got my guard army, or I started getting my guard army at the end of 9th edition. So like their like very short term codex had already come out, and that was all I really got. Or like I don't even think I didn't play it. I bought that codex. That was such a dumb thing. I bought that codex and never played a single game with it. Like by the time I got even the resemblance of a force together, 9th edition was basically over. So yeah, I didn't really start playing like whatchamacallit, my guard army until relatively recently. Big part of it was just getting the Penal Legion together, and that made it very easy to hop in and do whatever. Yeah, suddenly having like, what is it, 3 20-man squads makes it really easy to build a list. You know what I mean? Rather than the like, I had like 2 20-man Penal Legion guys, got them together, and all of a sudden now I have 100 dudes. It's like, alright, I can get a solid guard list that will feel both good and thematic out of this. Which is exactly what I did. Also, welcome everybody that's hanging out. I'm just hanging out, painting. Is there music playing, actually? Come to think of it. Yeah, there's. Cool. Feel free to hop in the chat if you got any questions or anything you would like me to know. If something's going weird, please let me know too. Mostly me and Matt in the thing today. If you want to see what he's doing, feel free to hop onto our Discord, and you can hop into the Hobby Hangout chat and see what's going on there. Otherwise, I will be right here getting these Night Lords painted, because I'm kind of caught up to where I want to be on my Scions. So I'm kind of just chilling and getting these guys mostly done. Because really, these guys, once I put the blue on them, they're basically done. Like, it's pretty straightforward for my scheme there. And friendly reminder, Neuro-Heretical Wargaming is now affiliated with Wargames Atlantic. So if you're eyeing some Wargames Atlantic product and want to help support what we do here, please, please, please click our affiliate link down below. And that won't cost you a dime, but everything you buy helps fund us. So we can do things like get better cameras or better mics or whatever setup I have here. Here's the thing, Matt. You couldn't pay me to do the trim after, like, doing the base color on the guys. You could not pay me. I would absolutely never do the trim, like, second. For me, and this is true for all of my armies that have a lot of trim, I guess except for the Scions here. Because if you watched last week, you know I was hating life doing the trim on these guys. And so yeah. All my chaos, everything, up to and including my Land Raider Spartan that has been on the channel. I do not paint. Like, I will dry brush them first to get the trim done and out of the way. Okay, Matt, well, that was hyperbole. I will, in fact, do a lot of things if you pay me. I can tell you that right now. I am not too proud to do stuff for money within reason. But that being said, I will hate every second of it. I will do it for 1 minute and that is it. I will never do it. Like, the idea of doing all this trim, and like, mind you, I have so I like to have one of every, like, cult unit that you can have in Chaos Space Marines. So like, I have what are they called? The Rubric Marines. And they are not much better. In fact, a lot of people seem to think they're worse. I'm not 100% agree with that, but they suck. But dry brushing the trim first, absolute breeze. Oh my god. Simplest thing in the world. Love it. Absolutely love it. Alright. Now it's getting dry. I need to have a sip of my water. Oh, another thing that I wanted to bring up, so I almost forgot. We are getting very, very, very close to 200 subscribers. We are literally like 2 people short. So if you are watching this and you are not subscribed, please, 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 please subscribe for us, all right? Because, like, we are right there, and that would be a big milestone for us, and we are really excited to get those last 2. That would be fantastic. I can tell you right now, it'd be absolutely fantastic. Go back over here. Yeah, for anyone wondering, it's just kind of hopped in, because I see there's a few more of you guys. Tonight we started painting some Scions. One guy lost his head, quite literally. I discovered my Steel Legion drab paint was very dry. And my heart kind of wasn't in it. So if you voted for, if you're one of the 2 people that like to see me in paint and vote for the Scions, I apologize. We are not painting them tonight any longer. But of course, there's always a chance they show back in the future. And I will probably try to do a, whatchamacallit, might start doing shorts to show off finished product if I finish it off stream for you guys. But yeah, A lot of you guys kind of catching us at the end here. I think it's going to be a bit of a shorter one tonight. Like I said, I'm tired. Not 100% feeling it, but I want to get some stuff out for you guys. Everyone can hang out and get some stuff painted and done. I want to do his little face here. I'll do his little face here. Why not? Just screw it. Go for it, right? Chaos Space Marines are making confusing what really is meant to be painted as part of the armor and what's like Legion colors. Name more iconic duo. Alright. Got those guys kind of done. Gonna shade this guy since he's kind of. You actually get a kind of a good view of my process here. Because you get prime black, they get a dry brush of Golden Griffin, and then the blue gets filled in. I'm going to zoom in on that there for you. So you kind of see literally each step of my process as we start from one to the next to the next. And the final one would be a wash of Nuln Oil, but I haven't gotten quite that far yet with these guys. Oh no, giant arm alert. There. Alright. So yeah, let's go ahead and wash that guy. So he will be ready soon-ish. Nuln Oil. Snake bite leather. Are you my good pot? I'm not so sure you're my good pot. I had one pot of Agrax or Earthshade that worked the best. Is it the small one? It might be the small one. I definitely had one that didn't, and I tossed it. Whew. I need to drink some more water. Ooh, my water almost fell. Not even bad. Y'all, I don't feel bad telling you that it has honestly been a bit of a night. Like, genuinely, I don't know. It's just been a night. It has absolutely been a night. Alright, let's get this guy washed. But then yeah, so after the dry brush of Golden Griffin, they get a very generous wash of Agrax Earthshade to give it less of a gold and more of a bronze color. I do think I was a little gentler with this guy just because this part is 3D printed, so it tends to like, it's already snapped off once that I remember, so I don't want to go too hard with it, because that's kind of the, like, I like using 3D printed parts, right? Like, they are generally useful to get like the exact thing I want. And I think I originally got this with a set that had like chain glaives and more importantly like sniper rifles that I could use for 30k. But the problem with 3D printed stuff, especially with resin, is that it's very fragile, right? Like, it will break exceptionally easily. So you have to be very careful with it. This part, however, is plastic. I don't have to be nearly as gentle. Alright, let's go up and down his eviscerator here. Oh no, I got it on my hand! Up and down. Up and down. Perfect. Alright, now you can chill out and dry. It is a little after 9. Man, I don't know. we can kind of go ahead and, I think we're kind of in a spot where we can call it. I need to do a couple stuff that I kind of want to do more off camera versus on camera. So, yeah. I think I'll kind of hit it back to you guys. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. Yeah. So after 9, so I'll probably start calling it a night. If you haven't already, like I said, please do sure to like, comment, subscribe. Doing so helps us put our channels out. To quote history buffs, if you like the show, help the channel grow. Doing that massively helps us, and we love that. So please do. Yeah. As always, we have this basically every Wednesday when we can. I already have next week scheduled for sure. I will probably schedule a couple more in advance after this tonight. On Sunday this week, we have who is it? Admech. Admech's coming back to the channel, and Drukari is getting its channel debut for the very first time. So please look forward to that, as John Drukari takes on Bird's Admech, and I will be your lovely host for that afternoon. After that, we do have a couple other things coming. We do have our next Horse Heresy stream. We're getting that scheduled, so look out for that. I think it's going to be kind of in the middle of July, and then later that July we will have our next side quest Saturday, which, by the way, if you are in our Discord, you can vote to see what game you would like to see next on that. I believe we have Middle-earth Strategy Battle. Actually, let me go and check that. We check on real time. We got Middle-earth Strategy Battle, Kill Team for 40k, Necromunda, and then Bolt Action. So absolutely feel free to vote on what you would like to see us play next for our next side quest Saturday in July. What else? Do I have any other things? Oh, we are officially affiliated with Wargames Atlantic. If you like their products like we like their products, which I'll kind of go ahead and show off a little bit here. We have a few of their products actually on the table right now. So this right here on the left is their cannon fodder, specifically the male one. I know, Matt, I know you're going to be upset. This is their cannon fodder middle. I use them as a Penal Legion. Very straightforward, simple, beautiful models. Really like using them. They're great Catachan proxies, by the way. And then these guys, while their body is a Scion, their head is actually from the Le Grognard's kit, which is like a French army themed one. So you got a few different ones from like World War One. You have the kepi, the actual helmet. We also have like these old guard helmets from that are Napoleonic inspired. We do enjoy their products. So if you would like, if you're looking at getting that, please click our link below and just order like you normally would. And it doesn't cost you any extra, but it helps support the channel. So we would absolutely love that. Thank you, Matt. I would like to get some food in me. Yeah, I think that's all of our stuff. Like I said, our Discord is also down in the link below. So if you'd like to see more of us or just hang out with us, I know Matt is painting in the Discord right now. If you'd like to see what he's got going on, absolutely hop in down there and see what's going on. See what he's doing. Be more than happy for you all to join us down there. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys have anything more for me, let me know. Otherwise, we'll kind of just wait a second. Don't think there's anything else I want to work on tonight necessarily, though you're trying faster than I would have thought, so maybe. But no, yeah, I think that's kind of it for tonight. Sorry, it's a bit of a shorter one. We usually go to closer till 10 or at least 9:30, but like I said, I'm kind of tired. I got stuff going on in the morning, so I can't be up too late. But yeah, for everyone that did show up, everyone that's been out here through a good chunk of the stream, thanks for coming out. We're happy to have you guys as always. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe so we can see more of us, so we can see more of you and you can see more of us. Yeah, thank you guys so much.